seconds. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in again for another installment of the Denver Museum of Nature and Science's Giving Tuesday coverage, or excuse me, Colorado Gives Day coverage. There's just so much philanthropy these days. Everyone's in the spirit of giving. I got my days confused, but today is indeed Colorado Gives Day, a statewide day of philanthropy, and we are feeling so fortunate. We've already raised almost the entirety of our goal. We're sitting at almost $45,000 raised so far today, and we're excited to continue looking back on this strange and really exciting in a lot of ways year 2020 with some more interviews and looks back at what we've produced over the last couple of months. And excitingly enough, I get to wear a slightly different hat this time because our next installment of our coverage today is an interview with me. So Adam here is going to interview me, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the programs that I've helped produce over the last few months, but in just a moment, we'll get started on that. For now, I want to hear from Adam. He's going to give us a little update on how we've been doing today and what else you can expect for the rest of your afternoon. Adam?
Thanks, Talia. I'm excited to talk to you and learn a little bit more about your role and all you do to make the amazing virtual programs here at the museum. But first, I wanted to give everyone watching and participating in our Museum Rewind today during Colorado Gives Day an update on where we stand. We are just about to cross the $45,000 threshold of dollars raised towards Colorado Gives Day. We're so excited. We're hoping to push even further this year to raise a total of $75,000 before midnight tonight. We think we can do it, but only with your support. Today is the best day of the entire year to give to the museum. That's because there are maximizing incentives, incentives to maximize your contribution today only. One, a generous supporter from the museum is matching all contributions up to $10,000, which is amazing. So a dollar for dollar match there. And then the Community First Foundation has a $1 million boost matching incentive fund, which your contribution will also benefit from. So we hope that you'll take advantage of the end of your giving and tax-deductible donation today during Colorado Gives Day. You can give securely on their website at coloradogives.org/DMNS, or simply text DMNF to 51555. We're so thankful for everyone who's already chipped in. We're really excited for our 4 o'clock program this afternoon, which is Destroying 2020 with Science. We hope to be able to air some of your 2020 grievances. We understand it probably hasn't been the best year for you. You're not alone, and we hope to help by airing those grievances and then using science to destroy them live on Facebook Live today at 4 p.m. or our YouTube live channel as well. But right now, I want to turn over to Talia to learn a little bit more about our virtual programs and how this year has really changed the museum's priorities with virtual programs and the type of content that we create. So Talia, to start, I know that we see you on screen a lot for a variety of programs, but I wanted to see if you wouldn't mind reintroducing yourself to folks and letting them know about everything you do for the museum.
Absolutely. So first of all, I do just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has contributed today. We've said it time and time again throughout the day today, your contributions are going to help us bring exciting, engaging virtual programs to schools, to families, to members, to the public, to everybody, anyone who wants to connect with us around nature and science in ways that are meaningful to you. You can do that with us through the power of virtual programs, and your donation today helps to support everything that we've done. You know, we've created videos over the last few months. We've produced hundreds of live events and lectures and programs for schools, even while schools are doing remote learning. We've been able to produce these events, and we cannot do it without you. So I want to say, not just as a host of this program, but as someone who's been deeply involved in all of this virtual programming, thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope that you'll continue to support us both on Colorado Gives Day. Oh, I see another donation just came in. That made me smile. And even beyond, because again, yeah, we cannot do this at all without you. So anyway, my name is Talia. As you all know, you've seen me a ton of times over the last few months if you've tuned into lectures or watched Facebook Live programs. And my role here at the museum is the Virtual Experiences Coordinator. And you might even say Virtual School Programs Coordinator, because lots of people are producing virtual experiences these days. I've worked at the museum for 9.5 years, which feels wild for me to say. I started here when I was in college. I was just a little bitty baby adult, but I've managed to be here in some capacity since then, since 2011. And for the past several years, I focused specifically on producing virtual programs for schools. Now, over the last few months, I've certainly pivoted and helped bring virtual programming and digital engagement and exciting events like that to all kinds of different audiences. But schools remain the thing that gets me out of bed in the morning, helping kids connect with science, connect with real scientists, get their questions answered. That's the thing that really does it for me. So that's my main job here at the museum. I've been in this particular role since 2017, and I'm so lucky and grateful that I get to continue bringing my skills to the museum and to the broader world as we shift a little bit in this strange year.
Wonderful. Talia, that's so amazing. And everything that you do for the museum and all the content that you help produce. But to back up a little bit, this March, our world changed in an unpredictable way, unprecedented in the modern era. And so can you talk a little bit about when things started to close down? The museum was closed for 100 days earlier this spring. When we first started learning that we were going to have a safer at home order and that schools were going to be going virtual, how did your team react? And what were some of the ideas and kind of programs that came out of that period?
Yeah, well, the first thing that we knew, of course, we had to process the news of, okay, things are going to look a little bit different for a little while. The first thing that we knew is that the museum is such an important and trusted resource for our community, whether that's we have families that come to the Discovery Zone every single weekend to come splash around in the waterway. And I was an educator performer before I focused exclusively on virtual programs. And I still remember seeing some of the same kids every single weekend, whether that's people coming for lectures or some of our most beloved adult programs, whether that's just coming for a visit every so often with your family. We knew that we had to continue being a resource for our community. And we knew that that couldn't quite look the same. So what we immediately started to think through is, okay, what does our community need from us right now? We were thinking through, parents now are going to have their kids at home and they might not have a place that they can go to get their wiggles out or to be creative and be silly and connect with science and nature. We have members, of course, and our members are such an incredible sustaining source of funding and support for the museum. So we knew that we had to keep our members engaged because we really love and value all of our members. And we knew that as schools, of course, underwent a major shift in their own practices and their own work around that time, we needed to figure out how to be a resource for them too. So everything that we do here at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science begins with our community. What does our community need? What does our community value? What is meaningful to them? And so we started then to produce all kinds of different pieces of content. Our educator performers, if you've been watching all day, you saw some of the videos that they produced earlier, our Rube Goldberg machine and Mitch making toast. That is barely scratching the surface of videos that they made. They went home and with whatever video cameras they had, their phones propped up on a stack of books, they taught us different experiments that kids and families and anybody really could do from home. We started to host different lectures on Facebook Live and in the evenings with staff in our science division, so our curators, our collections managers, other staff and researchers. And we started to partner with other organizations that are also doing some incredible work across Colorado and the United States for things like adult and evening lectures. We just wanted to remind everybody, we're here for you. Even as we are closed, we are not done. And we made a couple of silly videos with the T-Rex running around as well. And I got part of those, which was awesome.
I think that's a really important point, Talia, is the variety of programs that we produce. Yes, we are an incredible, rich resource for students, educators, especially when it comes to educator professional development, which is especially important right now, but also for families, for adults, for children, for families to do activities together. And you saw some of those earlier silly short videos, but there is a really rich variety of programs. And I'm hoping you can tell us a little bit about how you come up with the ideas for what programs to air or to produce, and kind of what sort of collaboration with the community do you have?
Absolutely. And before we continue, I do want to say, you just reminded me, I forgot to call out teachers specifically. And when I mentioned just a moment ago, some of the audiences that we were serving, you mentioned teachers. I know teachers are the best. So we've been also putting on special virtual professional development programs for teachers, including our smash hit Tools at Tea Time on Tuesdays at 4. I think there's even one today. Don't quote me on that, but we're doing those every week. Teachers are such an important audience too. So big shout out to all of you. We appreciate you so much. So as far as coming up with ideas, there are a lot of different ways that we might decide, what we want to highlight or who we want to feature or what we should bring out to the community. And of course, it does begin with our community too. We've done so much work to really get to know the people that come to the museum and know what they value and what they find meaningful. And also to get to know people who maybe aren't coming to the museum or aren't engaging with us as often as they're engaging with other places and what they value. So we always start with that. What is our community interested in? What have they told us that they want to learn more about? That's where it all begins. We might also sometimes rely on what sorts of discoveries or research is being done here at the museum. That's a really unique thing that we can share. If you tuned in just a little while ago, you talked to Tyler Leeson, or you watched me talk to Tyler Leeson about his incredible discovery. So sometimes when a scientist finds something amazing that they need to share with the world, we'll say, okay, well, we definitely got to bring this to the public. And I am super fortunate that I've gotten to go to multiple dinosaur digs for that reason alone. I know nothing about paleontology, but I get to go check it out just because it's important to share. Sometimes it's that we have community partnerships. Sometimes it's that there are really amazing events happening in the scientific community that we need to highlight, things like rocket launches and landings. And sometimes, as we saw with the videos that we all made while we were staying safe in our homes, it's what we have. Sometimes you have food coloring and coffee filters, or you have Play-Doh, or you have toast, or you have bread and a toaster. You can do science with all of that. So there are a lot of different ways that we get our ideas.
And that's great. And yeah, using household materials to make science accessible. You don't need a fancy chemistry set or expensive equipment. Science can be done with household materials, and our team is here to help connect you and your family to those activities. I was reading the other week that last year, there was a survey of Colorado educators that named the Denver Museum of Nature and Science as their #1 top-rated resource for professional development. That is for educators in Colorado naming the Denver Museum as their #1 source for professional development. Can you talk about kind of your work with schools and how virtual learning that is happening right now, and how your programs are tying into what's already happening in the classroom?
Absolutely, I could talk about that. And I do want to give a shout out to all of my incredible colleagues who are also helping to produce the museum's Excite Ed programming. That is our suite of programs specifically for, I know, round of applause, specifically for schools and teachers. So Tim and Ugo and Brad and Kim and Megan, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody because I'm live right now and I'm nervous, but our incredible team, Tina, our incredible team of people who are all producing programs for schools. We've all had to adapt and pivot throughout the time that we've been closed, and of course, as we've reopened to newer restrictions to keep us all safe. So virtual programming has actually been something that the museum has done for several years. Again, I've been in this role since 2017, and there's a long line of predecessors who have really paved the way for me to be doing what I'm doing now, and huge thanks to all of them too. We have several different programs available to schools that have always been available. Virtual Science Academy is a suite of on-demand virtual field trips. So you can book those kind of whenever you want. So if there's any teachers that are watching today, we can Zoom ourselves or Hangouts or Teams or Skype, however you want to do it, right into your classroom and bring an exciting virtual experience right to you. So you can book those on our website, dmns.org/virtual. And Scientists in Action is a series. Each month we connect with a different scientist or researcher where they work. So your students can join students from all across the country and world to tune in, ask their questions live to real scientists. And so we've been serving schools and organized youth groups and other community groups through those programs for many years. And it's an amazing way to, if we have students that can't, for whatever reason, make it to our museum or to their local museum, we can still bring science to them. There are schools that I work with that are situated above the Arctic Circle in Alaska and Canada. They are super remote. Coming to us or even to another museum for a field trip may not be super accessible for them. We also work with groups who, for whatever reason, are not able to travel out of their school building or their resource center, their community center where they're based. And so virtual programming is such an important way for us to bring science, bring nature, bring everything that we do here at the museum to these audiences who, for whatever reason, are not coming to us in person. And for some people, that's even their first choice. They prefer to do it virtually. So we have an incredible suite of school programs, and virtual is just one piece of the puzzle.
Well, and that's what makes virtual programs so amazing, is that they can reach any corner of the globe. As you mentioned, working with students and educators north of the Arctic Circle. I was reading just last week, there's a new partnership that the museum has been developing with a science museum in Moscow, Russia. They've been seeing our virtual programs, have seen the quality and the content, and are trying to stand up their own virtual programs for their institution. And so I know some of your colleagues have been working directly with them to share learnings, share expertise, to ensure that this mode of communication and this mode of learning can spread and that it's not just exclusive to us here in Colorado, as lucky as we are.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We want to be a resource too, not only for our community who's doing the learning, but also with others who are trying to bring their knowledge, their expertise, their behind the scenes secrets of their museums out to their community as well. So yes, we've been really fortunate to have this relationship with this museum in Russia. We've been able to help them build out a virtual studio similar to what we have, that they can do much the same and continue connecting their community with the natural world virtually.
And I do just want to make a quick plug. We mentioned it earlier at the beginning, but members, if you are a current member of the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, twice a week, you're receiving virtual content in your inbox, some exclusive content just for members. We believe that we want to acknowledge and reward and celebrate your support of the museum. And so we've been producing member exclusive content since March now to make sure that our members have access to some really great science and nature content.
We're so grateful for you members. So if you have not yet taken advantage of this benefit, make sure you do so today. That's an important thing to check out. It's a gold mine of good stuff. So check it out.
And I am just going to check in on our fundraising update. We are getting ever closer to $50,000. Today, we're hoping to raise a total of $75,000 to support our virtual programs, student scholarships, and everything that the museum does into 2021. Your support today on Colorado Gives Day is the best day to maximize your end of year giving. Make that tax-deductible donation today at coloradogives.org/DMNS, or you can simply text DMNS to 51555. And Talia, I want to talk with you about our upcoming program at 4 p.m. today, Destroying 2020 with Science. Can you tell me a little bit more about it and how people can get involved?
That is right. So 2020, it's been a weird year to say the absolute least. It's been a hard year for a lot of us. I'll just go ahead and acknowledge it. It's been a hard year. And even if you are maybe not feeling some of the most severe impact, everything that's happened this year, it's been hard for you in one way, shape, or form. And so what we want to do is we want to give you a little bit of a catharsis, a little bit of a release, a way to say, oh, I'm so ready for this year to be done, and destroy it with science. So if you make a donation, in the special notes section of your donation, you can include a grievance, something that you want to complain about this year, something that didn't go your way, something that you wish had been different, something that you miss doing from the before times. Include that with your donation. And at 4 p.m. right here on Facebook, we will be destroying that grievance with science. I will actually not be there. I'm going to hand the destroying over to some of my colleagues, Mitch and Tessa. They will be here to, whether it's freezing it, smashing it, I don't want to give away too much, but all kinds of good stuff is going to happen. So make sure that you make your donation. Let us know. We've gotten a couple of grievances, things like, I didn't get to travel to see my family for Thanksgiving, and I know that was the right choice, but I really wish that I had gotten to do it. And my personal grievance is I miss going to Target and going in the candle aisle and smelling all the candles. It's hard to do with a mask on, and maybe not smart because you want to get in and get out and get your shopping trip done as fast as you can. So that's my grievance. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be a blast. I'm trying to think, my grievance, I'm a good Midwestern boy, so not being able to eat fried food on a stick at the Iowa State Fair this year was rough, but I think we're going to rebuild. I've added my grievance, and I can't wait to see what the team does today at 4 o'clock. All you have to do to add your grievance is in the special comments and instructions section. It's a dialog box right embedded into the donation form. Go to coloradogives.org/DMNS, click that donate button, and then again, in the special instructions/comments section, add whatever your 2020 grievance is. We'll air it live on air at 4 o'clock today, and then we'll destroy it. We'll get that catharsis out. We'll send out all the good vibes, and we'll celebrate what we hope will be a better year in 2021.
Fingers crossed. And of course, with your support, we can continue to make our next year even better than this one. While it's been a tough year, while a lot of things about this year have been really out of the ordinary and really difficult, pivoting to a whole new way of working has certainly been challenging for all of us. We can continue making a difference for our community in 2021. We can't do it without you. So make sure you give us a gift today. Even $10 is massively impactful and will be matched. So anything that you can give us, we will be eternally grateful. All right, Adam, do you have any last questions for me?
Yeah, again, just want to remind everyone, you're going to get your donation match today on top of the $1 million Community First Foundation Boost Incentive Fund. So you have two components. maximizing your gift today only. Go to coloradogives.org/DMNS. I'm going to go off the script real quick, Talia. I did want to just shout out a couple of our team members who we wouldn't be here today without, and that is our building services team. These are the individuals that are making sure our facility here on 2001 Colorado Boulevard is following all of the best public health guidance, that we're being really stringent with our cleaning practices. They go above and beyond every day, and they make our facility able to be accessible to the public right now. So we're really thankful for them and thankful for all that they do.
Yeah, very deserving shout out. Thank you so much, building services. We would not be open without your incredible work. So thank you so much.
All right. Well, we will keep sending in those grievances. Visit coloradogives.org/DMNS, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Keep supporting virtual programming, and you'll see a lot more of us in 2021. Thanks, everybody.